midst of a federal election campaign. Can elections actually do anything to change the environmental crisis facing Australia?
Elections can be very instrumental. We are in the middle of an environmental crisis. All the important indicators are going in the wrong direction. We're losing biodiversity, greenhouse gas emissions are spiralling out of control, our inland rivers are in trouble. And in an election campaign, people can make it clear to our leaders that they want action on these. They can make it clear that they will only vote for people who are serious about addressing our big environmental problems.
Don, what are the big things you would like to see political parties promising to do in this election?
Well, as ACF, to achieve a sustainable Australia, what we want to see is a real push to a cleaner economy. At the moment, we're too pollution dependent. We want action on climate change. We'd love to see movement forward on sustainable cities. Additionally, we've got important work to do to protect our rivers, our forests, and our marine environment. And then we really want to see an environmentally sustainable future for Northern Australia. It's so important. So let's get going on all of those. They're important to our future.
And Don, what does action on climate change mean to you?
Well, three simple things actually, if you boil it right down. We've got to get a price tag on polluters because the big polluters need to be paying for their pollution. But at the same time, we've got to really boost renewable energy very strongly. There's a nice clean future for Australia there with jobs and improve energy efficiency. Bottom line, it's all got to add up to stopping our pollution currently spiralling up, Ian, and bringing it down.
Ian, can renewable energy really supply Australia's energy needs?
We've known for 20 years that renewable energy could supply all our needs by 2030. A recent report says that if we were serious about it, we could supply all our electricity from renewables by 2020. That means big solar, expanded wind, serious effort in geothermal, some sensible biomass. But there's no doubt that if we're serious about it, we could meet all our energy needs from renewables within a decade.
Ian, you've spent a bit of time in China and other parts of the world looking at how other countries are adapting to the carbon-constrained future. How do you rate Australia's installation of renewable energy against what other countries are doing?
We're being left behind. We've been world leaders in the technology for decades, but we're being left behind in implementation. Other countries are pushing massively ahead. China is introducing emissions trading, investing massively in renewables. New Zealand already has a carbon tax and gets 85% of its electricity from renewables. Even the United Kingdom is moving ahead faster than us on solar energy. It's almost a public scandal that we've done so little to implement the world's best practice technology that Australians have invented. We really need some leadership from the government. People are installing solar panels. People are putting their hand in their pocket to do the right thing. We need our leaders to follow the lead of the people.
And crikey's Ian, we're the sunny country. Germany's doing a lot better than us and they get half the sunshine we do.
Absolutely.
People around the world have been shocked at the environmental devastation from the BP oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. Don, what lessons are there for Australia in this?
Well, by the way, we've had a shocking oil spill here earlier in the year at Montara. It was a bit out of sight, out of mind because it was so remote in the Timor Sea. That oil spill was 400 kilometres in extent. It's the same as Byron Bay to the top of Fraser Island for people who know Queensland. I think the lesson here is first and foremostly prevention's better than cure. We've got to get a lot more of our marine environment properly protected. It's about time. All the waters offshore from the Barrier Reef, the Coral Sea, were fully protected. It's about time we had a really good marine reserve system around the whole of Australia. I think that's the most important lesson because once you have a problem, they're an awful mess to clean up.
The population debate's been prominent in the early stages of this election campaign. Ian, what do you think about the current debate and how much of an effect does population have on the environment?
Well, population's a huge driving force in environmental degradation. All our problems are exacerbated by more people. It means more houses, more roads, more energy use, more electricity, more pollution. Our aim should be a sustainable Australia, and that means we need both to stabilise the population and stabilise consumption per person at levels that can be sustainably supported. That's the only responsible goal.
If you could each give one message to ACF's members and supporters right now, what would it be? Don?
Well, I reckon bottom line, get involved. You can make a difference. I mean, it might sound a bit boring to do a phone call to your candidates or turn up at a candidates meeting or send a letter to the paper, but you know what? That's what's helped save the Great Barrier Reef. That's what's helped save Kakadu, and that's exactly what we need right now. So you can make a difference, get into it.